Welcome back. Yeah, I hope you all have been able to download the data loader as we discussed in the previous class. And if you are here to download the data loader, go to the previous video where I explained, I did a breakdown on how to get data loader onto your system. I'll try as much as possible to make this class very fast and very brief, so please kindly follow along and pay close attention. So today we'll be moving to loading your data. Data and data loader basically. I just want to run through some theoretical one or two before we go into our hug to get our hands dirty. That's fine, yeah. Alright, so data and data loader, as I have it here, I said this is very important for an administrator for this is very important for an administrator because let me edit this, yeah. Because this is very important for an administrator because data is a major thing in every organization. Now, what makes data and data loading very important is because most organizations or every organization is built around data, no matter what kind of organization, no matter the company, no matter the setup, is built on one form of data or the other. Accounting data, contact, leads, if it's production settings, production outputs, everything has to do with data. So now, as a data administrator, if you find yourself working with a company that just want to start administrating, I want to move to Salesforce newly, there will be need to move their data from whatever means they've been using before, whether Excel, SQL, even if it's paper. Wherever they stopped, they will definitely need to move their data to Salesforce, and that's where the work of an administrator comes in. So that's why I say this particular aspect is very crucial, and I want you to pay very close attention. Also note that the only time to move data is not just at the beginning of Salesforce. You can also use it to add more data. Let's say the marketing team is only allowed to input data or bring in data maybe quarterly, yeah, and probably in the space of that 3 months they've been able to acquire about 1,000 leads or opportunities. Imagine having to type them one by one. That will require a whole lot of insane labor force. In fact, no matter the pay, you just get exhausted. So that's where data loader comes into play. So can you see why I say it's very important? Very important. So moving on, we have forms of data migration. Like I said, you can either user can type in the data, that is manual typing. Sorry. That is, user can type in the data, that is manual typing, and data migration, data imports, that we are going to talk about today. And another one is ETL, integration. That's not our subject for today. We are still going to go deeper in future class. Okay, so basically those are the forms of data migration. Another thing we are going to look at here is data migration process. Now, this data migration process is not something you readily find anywhere else or like this on any platform, because it's more like a system that I come across just to make the work smooth, just to make the transition smooth. Now, please, for whatever reason, don't cram this process. Okay, don't cram this process. Just understand the context of it. So it could be maneuvered, it could be bent, it could be flexible for use. Do you understand that? All right. So now the first one is data collection. I have data collection, data migration plan, data preparation, org preparation, and data operation. Now, when I say data collection, it's like data creation. Basically, that's not really a thing for you as an administrator. The source of data is not your problem. You are going to be receiving the data from wherever the source is. So that's why I call it data collection. But data creation, except if you are also the data analyst or the data scientist, that's the only way you'll be the one creating the data. But most likely, it's just basically data collection. Then data migration plan. Now, I'll talk about data migration plan. Okay, so when talk about data migration plan, it's like you creating a pattern or a procedure, a precedence in what you want to do. Sorry about that. Now imagine from what we've discussed in our previous classes, some objects are related to some, while some are lookup to others. Those kind of things. You have to consider which one will come in first. It's a situation whereby some are like parent, child. Okay, let's do a brief analogy here. I think that's why I have this place. In the previous class, we created car parts, right? Okay, so let's say we have a very big guy here. Let's call this guy account. Obviously, account is a very big guy. Account. So let's say we also have some other guys here. Let me call this contacts. Let's say I also have another guy here. Let me call this guy opportunity. Okay. Let's say we still have another guy here. Stop misbehaving. Okay. Let's call this car. And let's call this guy car parts. Everything I've done is quite familiar if you've been following up with our previous classes. Now, we all know that contact and opportunity look up to accounts. Of course, yes, you cannot have a contact without an account, and you cannot have opportunity without an account, right? Okay. So sorry. Let me give it another color. That will be clear. Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So it's more like these two are looking up to accounts for certain set of information, right? Okay, same as your car. Remember, we gave the car um, car driver, person that delivers the car. So, and definitely that will be a contact. There will definitely be a contact. So indirectly it's still related to this. And for every car part, there have to be a car attached to it, right? Exactly. So we can see that this is the kind of precedence or a flow process. So now imagine needing to load all this set of information on your Salesforce. You can tell which one will come first. You cannot load a car part without the car, without a car record, right? So this is what I mean by data migration plan. So that is looking for what to consider before moving your data. Okay, so another thing we have here is data preparation. Now data preparation, okay, I put here CSV do CSV. I have a lot of error here. Okay, so CSV is the only format that is comma separated value, I guess. I'm not so sure. Oh, so CSV is the only format that Salesforce accepts. So it has to be CSV for it to come into Salesforce. Whether you have it on an Excel sheet or not, or whatever form, you have to save it as a CSV format before you can upload it. Now let's go through this. I'm gonna be leaving a couple of data sets below this video for you to actually work along with. Okay, so I want to look for a data. Okay, look at this. Let me use this. Now, can you see this? This is a data set, but you can tell that this data is not very neat. So it's still a little clumsy. So cleaning, this is not a data class, so I won't be going through cleaning data and all. You can easily, okay, possibly sharp in some coming videos. Probably you are going to do this. Probably I'm going to do this. Okay, so you can see that this data is not very clean. It is a bit rough. Then at some points you could find some places whereby some records are not there. Now let me ask a brief question. These columns represent what in Salesforce? Field. Do you remember? While these rows are what? They are records. So please don't forget that. Okay. So now you can at some point find out that some records are missing and all. So this is a place where you prepare your data. I'm just trying to create a kind of process that could make the work easy. You can't just, oh, you got the data, all right, you put your data loader and start try to make the work look, professional. You understand? So that's why I brought about this process. So the next one we have here is org preparation. Now, org preparation / object preparation, e.g., what are the required fields? what are the existing validation rules, what automations are on this object. You see this last two, let's leave that one for the future class. Basically, for what we've covered so far, we are going to be working with required fields. Now, what I mean by required fields, let me show you. Let me go to my work so I can show you. Let's say we created insurance, right? Insurance. So let's go to insurance. I guess I've collected most of this thing. I didn't return it back. Okay, look at this insurance name. You see it has this red star. That shows that it is an important field to be filled. Field to be filled. Okay, so it is an important one. That is, this record will not go in unless this guy is being filled. Do you understand? So now you consider all the required fields. So if you know at the point of creation, then I mentioned to you that don't always make it required. You can easily make it required through some other or some other means, and one of it include page layout, right? Do you remember? Okay, good. So if there are multiple situations where you have more than one required field, you have to go uncheck them, because now all the records, let's go back to our Excel format. Imagine we have to upload all of these, and let's say this guy is not here. Let's say this guy is not here, and this guy is not here. Let's assume those informations are missing. Now, what that will do, or what that will lead to, is this. Once you try to upload those records that are missing values, will not be successful. Does that make sense? Will not be successful while uploading, because the required field is not there. Others will go through, some will go through. Actually, you are going to see that there are times you upload some data and some will be successful and some will fail. So you check your field list and check for the necessary corrections, do the corrections, and reload again. Do you understand? So that's what brought about the need for this. What are the required fields? Basically, that is one key thing to consider while preparing your org. Exactly. So the next one is data operation, or let me say the last one, data operation, and that's a very, very crucial part. We have basically 6 operations in data migration. First one is insert. Insert operation means you are trying to upload new data into the system. The next one we have is update operation. Update operation is trying to add more informations into the system from the word update. Do you understand? So that's that. Then we have Upsert. Upsert is insert plus update, or update plus insert. Upsert. Even from the definition, you can tell what it means. It means you're uploading new information and at the same time updating informations. Exactly. So that's Upsert. Then we have delete operation. We have export. Export deals with one object, and export all deals with more objects. So moving on, tools needed for migrating data. I say this class will not be very long, but okay, let's just see how it goes. Tools needed for migrating data. You have your data import wizard, data loader, workbench, data loader.io. Now let me explain what all of this means. Data import wizard. Data import wizard is a means to upload that is within Salesforce. Look at it, I put it here inside Salesforce. Can you see? Data loader. Data loader is like a third party or a client. At the same time, local, at least you've downloaded it on your PC, just like we did, so that we could work on this class. The next one is web workbench. That's a web platform, and dataloader.io. That's a web platform. We're not going to be dealing with these two, but as for today, we're going to be looking at data import wizard and data loader. Okay. So now I have a table here that will show you all the limitations of both of them. Can you see? We have data import wizard and data loader. Can be used by the admin. Both of them can be used by the admin. Can be used by the users. This one cannot be used by user. Data cannot be used by user. Only the admin can use it. Export data. No, this one can. Can you see? Go through all of these. You see all the limitations and what the both can possibly do. But data import, someone ask, like, okay, why do we have to go the extra mile of getting data loader when we can easily do some of these things with data import that we're going to see in a moment, because of the limitations that comes along with data import wizard. So I'm going to my org now and let's get our hands dirty. All right. Okay, let me close this. So we are going to go to our back end, that is our admin side of the org. Okay, so let's search for data import wizard. So alright, so there's it. Data import wizard. Okay. Okay, so coming on. Sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. What just happened? Alright, I'm going to search again. Data import wizard. While I wait, alright, yeah. So here it is. So I'm gonna scroll down and click on launch wizard. Yeah, my network is really poor today, really poor. Yeah, so here you have your standard objects and custom objects. Guys, I'm tired. I've had a very long day. Alright, so now look at this. For this useless wizard, useful wizard, for this data, I'm gonna call that, for this data import wizard here, we can only import data for just 4 standard objects, or apparently 5: accounts and contacts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just these 5 standard objects. Can you see that's a very big limitation? Okay. Why for custom objects? Then yeah, all your custom objects. Okay. So let's go ahead. Custom objects. Let's work with insurance. Okay, so click on add new record, because that's what you want to do. You can go ahead and try every other ones out if you are very curious. It works same way actually. So let's add new record. Okay, right, click on CSV, we choose a file, and we choose that same file. Wait, is that document a CSV format? Let me see. Comment. Okay, can you see comma separated value file? So it's a CSV file. Good. Let us proceed. Okay, have we chosen it? Okay, car record CSV. Good. And so click on next. Yeah, now here comes mapping. Okay, so let's just, so mapping is simply identifying those rows, those columns which are fields to the required field. Okay, so as we have name, it already map out with insurance name. That's clear. We have phone. Let's see what can we match up phone with. Nothing really. Let's just put this map. If you have required fields here, this place would not go through unless those required fields are in place. Okay, let's map another one. Let's just call this one amount. You know, you can actually play around with this and use the right naming system. Okay, all right, so having done all of that, we click next. Map only one CSV field to policy number. Okay, I've made a mistake. Policy number. Okay, change. Let me do this thing. So let's try again. Okay, so can you see your input will include 4 map fields, 9 unmapped. That's from this data set. It's telling me it's going to take just 4 of the records because apparently that's what I chose. Okay, so let's start import. Go ahead. Okay, loading. All right, so I guess this is done. Bug data jobs. Can you see we have a record processed 200 to 250, record fields 249, apparently just one. came through. So we can actually view results here. Let's view our results. Okay, it's downloading down here. Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Just one was successful. So let's go through this error message and see what exactly it is. It's telling us okay, majorly the issue we have here is because most of the values does not tally with what we have in the system. Okay, so let me change the record. Let's use something else. So I'm gonna go back. Let's try a more simpler data. Not because it's simpler, because I have that particular data or arranged. Okay, so that's that. So let's go there. Okay, so custom object insurance, new records, CSV, choose file, and pick data. Then next. See, we don't really have any much mapping to do because I've matched out those things. Okay, let me open it so you see that particular data. Okay, so it's just few here, but then this record could go as long as 1,000. You understand? But I just make it just 10. Look at this. We have insurance, we have insurance type, we have coverage amount, expiry date. Can you see? So this heading already naturally match out with this. So that's why it doesn't really need any much mapping. So we just go ahead. Can you see 4 mapped fields? Okay, so start import. So let's see, 0 field, all 10 records are in. So to confirm that, let's go over to our record and refresh. This is my insurance. Let me refresh. Voila. So all 10 records has been entered. So if we have had 1,000 or 250, everything would have also come in just like that. So let's quickly rush down to data. I want to delete this, so we can easily use this information again. Just don't know why I do all of this. most likely in the next class we are going to actually work on using data loader to delete. I just all right. Okay, so we have just that one left. So now here comes the next one, which is data loader, the main guy. Okay. Yep. So let's go to data. You are going to open up your data loader. Then you click insert. Can you see these are the other operations I mentioned earlier? Insert, update, upsert, delete, export all. Okay, so let's click on insert. No, we've never talked about login, but now look at it. Upon clicking this insert, it's going to take you to your login page where you're going to log in your that's quick. Wait, let me go back. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. So I'm going to click on my data loader again. So exactly. Before I log in, there's something here. So it's saying it has to log in as okay, this one. Or password authentication, that is manually entering my password. Okay, then here this drop down says production or sandbox. From our previous class, so which do you think we are currently on? Is it production or sandbox? Production. Okay, now don't get it confused for sandbox. The fact that it is still a developer hub, it is not don't get it confused. It's not a sandbox, it's still a production org. Okay, so we are going to leave it at production. Then we'll click on login under O8 O out O out. Okay, moving on. All right, can you see? Now you can, let's connect it first. I know that there is one small page somewhere. Let's allow. Continue as some. Okay. I rather want to stick with this guy. Can you see that this now, at this point, this guy has changed from login into logged in. You get that? Okay, so now you can easily click on show all Salesforce objects. It show you everything, but now let's just stick to the base. So you can easily pick what we want. Insurance, yeah. Okay, so import CSV file. Okay, so let me click on data. Let me use data. Open. So we are going to click next. Initialize Salesforce object and CSV file. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, done that. Okay. Related objects. Lookup field. Nothing really. Choose an existing mapping or create a new. Let's create or edit the mapping. Okay. Now you could actually drag it literally, like match out those fields with those column header. Okay, so instead of that, I can use this auto match field, but at times it could be incorrect. So let's see, I can drag this date to this place. But I actually don't want to do this because I'm not so sure for. Let me just click on this auto match because I know that I have corrected everything on the Excel format, so that's why I had to use that auto match. Makes it work faster. And I'll click OK. So yeah, I'll come back to click next. Result folder, that is, once it finishes, it wants to save somewhere. So let's go ahead. You have chosen to insert new record. Click yes to begin. Yes. Okay. This operation is fully completed. You have 10 successful inserts and 0 errors. Okay. So now let's go confirm that also. Let's go to our user end and let's refresh. Voila. Now someone will say we have 11 records there. Do you know why? Remember, I didn't delete one from the previous one, so that makes it 11. So, and that's it with data loader. Easy peasy, just few clicks. Same goes for every other procedures. Okay, so I hope that has been well explained, and we see in our next class.